winner of the Associated Press Outstanding News Operation Award. This is Eyewitness News at noon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for being with us today. This is Eyewitness News at noon on Local 7. I'm Greg Parker in for Laura Kirtley. The search continues for a possible drowning victim in Muhlenberg County. Crews on the scene in the town of Graham. Rescue crews were called in about 9 o'clock last night to begin the search. We're told the person missing is male, but right now we don't know his name and we don't know his age. This all reportedly unfolding as a group of people were swimming in a mining pit. The search was originally for 2 people, but 1 turned up safe. Now, the Department of Fish and Wildlife is leading this search. We do have a crew on the scene right now working to get more information, and of course, we'll bring you more updates as soon as they become available. Meanwhile, Evansville police still waiting for a break in the weekend murder of local DJ Shane Breedlove. An autopsy on Tuesday shows he died from internal bleeding after he was shot. Breedlove was killed Sunday night while walking to work at Casey's Timeout Lounge. Funeral services are scheduled for Friday in Henderson. You can find complete details on our Eyewitness News website, tristatehomepage.com. You can also watch an unedited interview with Breedlove's close friend and country musician Jackson Young. Both Young and Casey's Timeout Lounge are offering rewards for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person who shot Breedlove. New questions in the Sandra Bland case after dashcam video of her arrest in Texas is released. Some saying the footage appears edited, but officials in Texas say it was just a technical issue. Ed Levendera has more on this dashcam video.
Step out of the car.
Newly released dashcam video of 28-year-old Sandra Bland's arrest is raising new questions about what really took place just 3 days before she was found dead in this Texas jail cell. For starters, the 52-minute video of the traffic stop and her arrest appears to have several discrepancies.
Get out of the car.
Don't touch me.
Watch as the white vehicle driving on the left suddenly vanishes from the road. And this brief moment where a tow truck driver walks away from the dash cam's view, then quickly reappears at the truck's door. Immediately following, a scene repeats. All the while, the audio is playing uninterrupted. All of this casting doubt that the video reflects a continuous account of the heated encounter with Texas State Trooper Brian Encina.
I'm going to drag you out of here.
So you threatening to drag me out of my own car?
Get out of the car.
And then
I will light you up. Get out.
Wow.
Now.
Wow.
Get out of the car.
Really, for a failure to signal. You're doing all of this for
Get
a
over there.
A bystander captured images of the trooper holding Bland to the ground, but dashcam video caught what she's saying.
You're a real man now. You just slammed me, knocked my head in the ground. I got epilepsy, you
Good.
I hope
Good.
You should have thought about that before you start resisting. Right.
Authorities say Bland later committed suicide in her cell. This is a look inside where she spent her final hours. The Texas Department of Public Safety says Trooper Encina failed to comply with the department's standards for professionalism. He's been pulled off patrol duty as state officials investigate. Police say they are looking into Bland's death as a murder.
Now, Trooper Encina has not spoken out publicly about this incident, but he did give his account in his arrest warrant affidavit. The trooper wrote that Bland became combative and uncooperative and that she was placed in handcuffs for officer safety. Encina also wrote that Bland was placed under arrest for assault on a public servant. In other news today, some folks in Henderson are going to have to wait a little bit longer before they can drive down part of Kentucky 351 in Zion again. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet had told the people in the area that they plan to reopen that road by the end of the week, but that's not going to happen now. Transportation officials are saying last night's rain is forcing them to postpone that opening. We're told the half-mile strip of road is now expected to reopen next Wednesday, and construction has been going on for about 5 months. The $1.8 million project will straighten out 2 curves, then widen a bridge as well. Meanwhile, budget cuts about to take effect in Henderson County, affecting nearly every agency. It's all part of an effort to save money in the loss of coal severance taxes. As part of those cuts, employees in the parks, road and recycling departments will be reduced to 4-day work weeks. Also taking a hit, the shelter for women and children. Funding there being cut by $1,000. That's a 10% drop. Other cuts include the spousal abuse program, the gathering place, the airport board, and planning commission. All those cuts take effect August 1st. They run through at least June 30th of next year. Also from Western Kentucky, changes made last night to Owensboro's proposed Gateway Commons project, and as a result, a vote has been pushed back until August 4th. Among the changes, city commissioners trim an acre off the annexation zone. The Gateway Commons project has been discussed since 2007. It's a 200-acre development expected to include restaurants, retail, and homes. Mayor Ron Payne says with this being a TIF district, it will generate more than $100 million in tax revenue over 20 years.
Temperature now up to 81 degrees at 12:05, so we are warming into the low 80s. We'll be in the mid 80s for a high here in Evansville. Some locations to the north only in the low 80s for a high, and more than likely that'll be the case for Jasper and Lagodi, both still clocking in the 70s at the noontime hour in the middle of July. How about that? 78 Jasper, 79 degrees Lagodi, but it is up to 82 now in Owensboro, 78 in Morganfield and Harrisburg too, though, 81 Madisonville and Greenville. On the comfort meter with the dew point right now in the 50, or right at 60 now actually, back up into the tolerable range. It was at 59. And very pleasant. A little bit of rain down in the Music City. If you're headed down to the south, Memphis and Nashville have seen rain today, and they can see some more later on as well. You can see the rain moving through Missouri, but really fizzling out as it works its way into the Mississippi River Valley. So as it pushes past, it is producing a few clouds headed our way, so we'll see a few more later on this afternoon. The Ohio at Evansville is now in the fall, 33.7. It's going to fall pretty quickly, about a foot between now and Saturday morning. And then the Wabash at Mount Carmel, 23.9, still a little bit to go before it crests, and that'll be coming up later on this week, and then start a slow fall. And the White at Petersburg is going to fall down below flood stage on Tuesday, so at least it's headed in the right direction. We have got more rain on the way tomorrow. How much rain is going to be soaking the ground? I'll be back to tell you what our future tracker is showing and give you the forecast for the next 7 days coming up in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Ron. In the wake of those shootings in Chattanooga, a group of Owensboro veterans and residents trying to protect those who serve. Now, they've been standing outside of the recruiting center on Southtown Boulevard since Monday, armed with military-style rifles and pistols. The members of the local American Legion say they're standing guard because firearms are not allowed inside military recruiting centers in Kentucky.
They're out there putting their lives on the line, whether they're in a supply chain, whether they're doing recruiting duty, whether they're in Afghanistan or Iraq or whatever. They're putting their lives on the line to keep us safe.
Group members say that they've talked with local law enforcement officials about their plans before they started guarding. Well, Tropicana Evansville has announced its new general manager. As we reported first yesterday on our Eyewitness News website, tristatehomepage.com, John Chazar has taken the position, and he actually comes to the job with pretty big challenges ahead of him, including turning the Riverboat Casino into a land-based casino. Now, we're actually going to talk live with Mr. Chazar in his first interview as the new GM later today on Eyewitness News at 4 o'clock on WEHT Local. Well, coming up, protecting kids when they fall while still letting them be kids. We've got some tips for you when Eyewitness News at noon continues.